Hi, this is my May wrap up. I thought May was a long month, and it was a month that had its ups and downs and everything like that. And during this month, I had a lot of reading done, like more reading than I usually do get done. And I often find myself comparing my reading pace and how many books I read per month to other people that I watch on BookTube and everything like that. But I realized that I'm usually the kind of person who engages in 3 to 5 books a month. And this month, strangely enough, I read like 9 books. And the result of that is just like having too much information in my head. And it's just like so, not exactly suffocating, but it's very tiring. So, without further ado, I'm reading for this. And I'll put um, the titles of the book as usual around somewhere. And then I also I've been like more active on my Goodreads account, so I'll link down all the reviews of the books that I mentioned down below on the description box below. I didn't like write for reviews for all of the books, but like some of them. So without wasting any time, because there's a lot of books to go through, I'll start off with 99% by Sally Thorne. This is a contemporary romance book, and I deal with contemporary romance, and I think Sally Thorne has been doing a really great job in like writing about romance and everything like that. So it follows Darcy, who who's tasked whose late grandmother dies, and she's tasked with like refurbishing or refurnishing and like what's this, like fixing her cottage before it's sold. And so she goes back to their small town, and there she works with her past love, Tom. It's not past love in the sense that they had ever been like lovers or anything like that, but in the sense that Tom had confessed that he loves Darcy, but Darcy, because she has a lot of issues, ran away to elsewhere. So basically, it takes place there. When Darcy comes back, she still has like lots of feelings for Tom, and there's like a lot of chemistry between them. But the thing is, Tom is supposedly engaged, but we find out that he's no longer engaged. I promise you this won't ruin the whole story. And I thought this was like a really like nice slow burn romance. And when I got into it, I was like, oh, is it going to be as good as The Hating Game, Sally Thorne's first book? And it just like it met the expectations, and I really enjoyed it. Like there was a point I was just like, just kiss, guys, just kiss. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. But like my other issues with it was this: both of them, Darcy and Tom, were kind of very possessive of each other. So if, let's say, Darcy, who's like very like liberal, she sleeps with other people, which is fine. So let's say another guy comes into the picture, then Tom would exhibit that like alpha machoistic kind of presence. And then if, let's say, a girl looked at Tom in like he cute kind of way, and Darcy would like have that like oh kind of thing. And I thought that's never healthy in any relationship. I don't like that whole we gotta be possessive of each other kind of thing, because it's not healthy. And then following that, I went into Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I've been rereading Harry Potter this year, and I really like revisiting old works and everything like that. I'm not gonna, oh, before I go back, that I rated 99%, 3 stars out of 5. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. The issue with okay, I love Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. It's one of my favorite Harry Potters. But Harry in this book is stupid. Like, I understand why he's moody and everything like that, but he is so stupid. He doesn't like think, because there's that part where he thinks that Voldemort has Sirius, and he's just like doing like he's going through the most and everything like that. And Snape specifically says, "Hey, like I don't know what you're talking about." And Snape obviously is part of like the Order of the Phoenix, and I understand like Harry's reasons for not trusting Snape and everything like that, but like it was just like so confusing. Pause. It was just so not confusing, it was very frustrating. And I really do not like the fact that what's this, J.K. Rowling does not explore other houses. like it's very Gryffindor centered, and I'm a Gryffindor, and I really love Gryffindors and everything like that. But the fact that there's so many other houses, and we have to believe that it just doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, obviously on the character side, like we know that Harry Potter is not observant at all, but like yeah. And then it was again so frustrating reading about Dumbledore, and Dumbledore not taking responsibility again of like having told Harry all of these things. Like, cool, you love him, but the thing is, it was your responsibility to have told him what Dumbledore is, I mean not Dumbledore, Voldemort is after. And then it was also like really really cool to like discover that Dumbledore was actually the person who sent one of like the statues to call Cornelius Fudge to show him that Voldemort is back. And then at the beginning of the book, when Harry and his cousin Dudley attacked by the Dementors, and then like Harry's like panicking because he's gonna be expelled and everything like that, and then like a message is like sent to Petunia and Vernon, and like the foreshadowing that because Petunia says something like very like just gripping, because you know obviously at the end of the story that Snape had like been in their lives, and there's like she was playing with that like strange boy. And the thing is, Harry, because he's so obsessed over his world, thinks that hey, it was my father, and then it wasn't his father, it was Snape. And I thought that was like she's J.K. Rowling is really brilliant at like foreshadowing, like. And I'm gonna start like this is my last point hopefully. And it was just also just like so frustrating that Hermione and Ron did not write Harry the whole summer. Like, I don't think any of those characters actually feel how it was for Harry to be in Privet's Drive, and like not having anyone to speak to. And the fact that he had to go through that is just like, that's the whole reason that the things ended up the way that they did. And obviously it's also they ended up the way that they did to propel the story and everything like that. But like, it was just like, damn, if Dumbledore had let Harry's friend write to him, then this wouldn't have happened. Like, there would have been like more trust that was established and everything. But because Dumbledore is the person that he is. Then the following book was The Bride Test by Helen Huang. Again, this is another contemporary romance, because I love me some contemporary romance. And it follows Esme, who's a Vietnamese, as she encounters this like old woman grandmother who's like, I have like a proposal for you, like I want you to basically seduce my grandson so that he gets married, not grandson, my son, so that he gets married to you and everything like that, and so that is not like alone. And Esme's like, oh okay, cool, I'm in Vietnam, let me go to America kind of thing, and like also look for my dad because she's biracial, so half Japanese, not half Japanese, half Vietnamese, as well as half white. So she goes to America. She meets this love interest, Kai, who's on the autism spectrum, and basically explores their relationship as Esme tries to seduce Kai, and like basically they fall in love. There's complications because Kai believes that he cannot love based on a past trauma and everything like that. I gave this book 2 stars. Why? Because they did not use their words. The couple does not use their words. And I understand it on Kai's perspective because of the way that he is. But like Esme not saying, like not researching more about like someone who has autism. And obviously there's like different cultural differences here, but like she could have just like researched and like, hi, I love you, I want you to love me, can you do that kind of thing. But no, there was like so much drama, and I was like, yeah, I didn't enjoy this book that much. And I also just did not like how Kai was possessive, not possessive, but like used called Esme his addiction, basically, because they had sex obviously and everything like that. But it was just like very like, no, I don't fuck with that. And then also just I enjoy the perspective that Helen Huang wrote about like this man who's Kai's like 26 I think, and he hasn't had sex before, and I really enjoyed that, the whole perspective, like you need to communicate kind of thing. And but then it was also unrealistic that, okay, they have sex for the first time, he comes very quickly, and then like Esme's kind of like upset and everything like that. Kai goes to learn that, oh, he didn't satisfy her. So, and then the next time it's just like beautiful sex. I'm like, I'm not sure it works like that, because they were still not communicating. Okay, and then next book was Men Without Women by Haruki Murakami. As always, I expect misogyny in Haruki Murakami's works because he's a misogynist. But and this book I rated it 3 stars. It's a collection of like short stories, and I think the most frustrating thing about Murakami is that I don't think he has the potential to write well, like female characters well, but he doesn't like care about the fact that he can write these women well. And then because one of the stories, I'm not pronouncing this right, but it's like Hirazade or whatever. It's about Habara, this man, and he has this nurse who comes like each week to take care of him, like 3 days during the week, who comes to take care of him, and they usually have sex and everything like that. And she usually has like a story to tell him after they've had sex, and she tells him the story of like how when she was young, like 14 years old or something, or 15, she had this like crush on this boy, and she broke into this boy's house, and she was just like sitting there and smelling the house. It's a strange story, and that story was so exhilarating. I gave it 4 stars, that one story, because it was just like so good. And I was like, Murakami needs to like lean into like women, like he needs to spend more time exploring women. And most of the stories, because the whole book is called Men Without Women, revolve around men without women. So whether their wives or lovers have passed away, they experiencing unrequited love, lovers that have cheated on them, and so on and so forth. And otherwise it's just like a mild read. It was, yeah, that kind of read. And then I didn't finish 2 books this month, which the first was The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan. And this is about Leah, whose mother has died by suicide, so she's passed away, and Leah goes to Thailand because she believes her mother is a bird. And there basically, I guess, she starts like seeing more of her mother, and she's like trying to understand like what happened to her mother, like what like brought her mother to that decision, and why is her mother a bird, like why there hasn't been communication between her mother's family and her mother, who because Leah is like biracial again. And yeah, I didn't finish this book because firstly I'm tired of like mixed race like novels or like narratives, because people who are of like biracial, whatever descent, whatever heritage, think that they have the most complex identities ever. And the thing is, you don't. Like, everyone has a complex identity. And it was just like so frustrating because the story wasn't going anywhere. It was like so slowly paced, and I was like, okay, I really don't understand. And as much, I thought that I would love it because apparently it had like flowery language, and it did have flowery language, but then I didn't like it. I was like, no thank you. And it was really long, and at that point had read like someone's tweet about like that kind of book that you don't want to finish, you don't have to finish it. So that's what I decided to do, not finish it. And then the next book that I didn't finish as well is like Act Like It by Lucy Parker. I would say this is like a chick lit more than anything. It's like the kind of book you'd read at an airport, or when you go to like holiday at some beach somewhere, or some cabin somewhere. And it's about Richard and Lainey. And basically Richard and Lainey are like these actors at a theater show, and Richard has just been like whiling, and he's been getting bad publicity for the show. So they like kind of like Lainey is given ultimatum kind of thing, that okay, you have to pretend that you are in a relationship, the two of you have to pretend that you're in a relationship. And it was like a kind of like good relationship because they used their words. There wasn't anything like wrong or anything, but I didn't feel the chemistry. I was like, oh, this couple is boring. And I want something that will just like make me like so delightful and joyful, and I was just like so bored throughout this. So again, followed the advice of this great Twitter person that you do not have to finish the book that is boring you. And I just went to the back, because that's another thing that you can do if you're not enjoying a book. You can just go to the back and read how it ends. And then another book that I read was Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata, which was translated by Jenny Tapley Takamon. And I gave this book 3 stars out of 5. The other books, I didn't rate them because I thought that it would be unfair to rate a book that I didn't finish. And okay, Convenience Store Woman is about Keiko Furukura, who's like a strange woman, a strange child, because when she's a child, she's like really, really weird. At some point during her school days, she tells us about how this time these 2 boys were like fighting, and someone's like, stop them. So she took like a shovel and went to like hit, I think, one of them or something like that. And then someone was like, why did you do that? And she's like, well, someone said that we must stop them, and I did that, kind of thing. She's like really, really strange. So when she gets a job at a convenience store, her family's like really, really happy, because she's like showing these like kind of like thing of being normal. And but then she stays at the job, and now she's like 30 something at this point, and people are having these expectations of her, like, where are you going with your life, why are you still at the convenience store, like, you're so old, kind of thing. And she's Keiko has like mastered like this thing of pretending to be normal, how human beings, like normal human beings, function. And what I really enjoyed about the story is it's like kind of like subverting the kind of thing that she's not intelligent, she's not normal, because she knows how people act. And the thing, she's enjoying her life, so she doesn't understand why people have these expectations of her. But she understands that if she doesn't like perform the way that people expect her to perform, then she's gonna be alienated. And I thought that was like something like really, really intelligent about the character and everything like that. But I was really happy for her at the end, because she just like was like, you know what, I'm gonna be who I am. I like working at the convenience store, and I'm gonna be that convenience store woman. And the strange thing is that the author herself worked at a convenience store for like until her 30s, when she was writing this book and everything. And I'll link the New Yorker article about her in the description box below. I gave this book 3 stars out of 5, as I mentioned before. And then went again to revisit another book that I read like a long time ago when I was in grade 9, and I really, really used to love this book. I gave it 5 stars back in the day, but then I was like revisiting it. I was like, no, this is just like, this character is so childish. How did I like this book? Like, it's funny, no, but it's not as funny as it was back in the day. And it's like really, really nice, like revisiting work like at an older stage. Something I'm going to be doing a lot for this June. And anyway, this book is Can You Keep a Secret by Sophie Kinsella. Basically, it follows Emma, who works at like this agency, like Panther Cola, where they sell like this energy drink. Basically, she's a marketing assistant there. And after like her first major like business deal, like things go badly there, and on her way back home, she's in a flight, and there's like a lot of turbulence, and she thinks that she's gonna die, so she spills all of her petty secrets to this like strange man on the plane. Then she discovers when she gets back to work that this strange man is the CEO of this company and the founder of the company. And she's like mortified, obviously, and like the boss knows everything. So for example, if a friend is like, ooh, let's go check those numbers, because that's like a code for like, let's just go get a drink somewhere, like coffee and kind of thing, and her friend does that in front of the boss, and she's like, no, don't say this, and like all these kind of things. And obviously it's like a chick lit as well, because Sophie Kinsella writes mainly chick lit. Emma and Jack fall in love. It's too quick. That's another issue. And then another issue that I have is like, Emma is really, really bad at her job, and like she has no reasons to lie so much. Like, I understand I have secrets on my own, for example, but like I don't need to lie about everything. She lies about everything. So for example, she doesn't like the crochet thing that her friends is like giving her, and then she lies about that. And like, you don't have to, like, kind of just like, oh, this is not my thing. Like, if you don't want to hurt your friend's feelings, like, I get that, but like, just like tell her like, oh, I don't like crocheted things and everything like that. I gave this 2 stars. Um, yeah, and then the last book that I'm still reading is The Elephant Vanishes by Haruki Murakami. I've been like struggling to read this book because it is oof, it's because I got tired of Murakami's topics about human isolation, to be honest, and I went into this book because I wanted to watch Burning, by which stars who's this, Stephen Yuan, and I got into the book, quickly read the first, like, the story based on the movie so I could watch the movie. So the story is barn burning, about this like man who burns barns, but in the movie he burns greenhouses. And like it's a good short story. I thought the movie did like a good job of like exploring further and like making it like bigger and longer. And one of the stories though was like, so like, apart from barn burning, like one of the stories that I've read, I haven't finished the book yet, is, I forgot the name of the story, but it's so good. And again, it's like kind of like that thing of Murakami doesn't realize how like how gripping his female characters are, because one, like, the husband, like this husband and this wife go rob a McDonald's store, and the wife is just like so badass. I'm like, I love her, like I love her. And the focus should have been like, I think it's a perfect story, and like I don't think like anything could have been like fixed or anything, but like I don't like, the husband first doesn't appreciate her as much. I don't think Murakami appreciates her as much, and I think it's so like so good. Yeah, anyway. I That's it for now. Tell me what you've been reading. Sorry that this video has been long, because it's long because I read a lot this month, and I don't know, because I think I need a break from reading, but like I wanna like reread so many books from when I was younger, like next month, and read like finally read what's this, A Beloved by Toni Morrison, because I've never read Toni Morrison's work and I'm so nervous. But tell me what you've been reading, and I'll see you next time. Bye.